intricate carvings.
So the stupas weren't static,
No, they evolved.
along with the development of Buddhist art and architecture.
Precisely.
The source also mentions that these stupas weren't just blank canvases.
Oh no, they were adorned with narratives.
Narrative.
Stories carved in stone.
Like scenes from epic tales.
Exactly. Early Buddhist art relied heavily on symbols,
Ah, I see.
but later a more narrative style emerged.
Depicting scenes from the Buddha's life.
Yes, and the Jataka tales.
The Taka tales. Remind me what those are again.
The Jataka tales are stories about the Buddha's previous lives.
Oh, right.
Before he attained enlightenment.
Before he was the Buddha.
Exactly. They're like fables.
Okay.
Often highlighting moral lessons and virtues like compassion, wisdom, and generosity.
So these stupas weren't just religious monuments. They were much more than that.
They were like visual storybooks.
Teaching people about Buddhist principles through art.
That's brilliant. It made Buddhist teachings accessible to everyone.
Regardless of their literacy.
Exactly. Imagine walking around a stupa, taking in these scenes.
Carved on the railings and gateways.
It's like watching an ancient film strip.
I love that analogy.
And for those who couldn't read scriptures,
Yikes.
these visual narratives would have been their window into the world of Buddhism.
Absolutely. And the Jataka tales with their engaging stories and relatable characters would have resonated with people from all walks of life.
So we've got these stupas layered with symbolism.
Yes.
Adorned with narratives. But these weren't just spontaneous creation.
No.
They required resources, manpower, planning.
A lot of planning.
Who were the people behind these monumental projects?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
The inscriptions found at stupa sites reveal a fascinating pattern of collective patronage.
Collective patronage? What do you mean by that?
Well, it wasn't just kings or wealthy elites funding these projects.
It wasn't.
You had guilds of merchants, artisans, even ordinary people contributing.
Wow, a real community effort.
It speaks volumes about the widespread devotion to Buddhism.
And the importance these stupas held for the community.
They were seen as a collective endeavor, a way for people to earn merit and express their faith.
It's amazing to think about how these magnificent structures were the result of so many individuals coming together.
Each playing their part in bringing them to life.
It wasn't just about the stones and mortar.
It was about the collective spirit and devotion of the people.
And while we often focus on the patrons,
yes,
let's not forget the unsung heroes.
The artists and craftsmen
who poured their skill and creativity into these projects.
Those skilled hands and creative minds.
Turning these visions into reality.
Exactly. Think about it. Architects designing these complex structures. Sculptors carving intricate narratives.
Stone carvers painstakingly shaping each element.
It was a collaborative effort.
Involving a whole range of artistic talents.
Absolutely.
And yet, their names are often lost to history.
Sadly, that's true.
Most inscriptions focus on the patrons, the ones who provided the funding.
Right.
But there are a few precious instances where the names of the artisans are mentioned.
Giving us a glimpse into the human stories behind these grand creations.
The source highlights a couple of names.
Kana,
an artisan who worked at Pitalochora,
and his disciple Balaka,
who contributed to the carvings at Kandane Caves.
It's like a whisper from the past.
Reminding us that these weren't just anonymous craftsmen.
They were individuals with names, skills, stories of their own.
Those names, however few, humanize the entire artistic process.
They remind us that these magnificent structures weren't just built by faceless masses,
but by skilled individuals who dedicated their talents to something larger than themselves.
It's like a relay race across time.
From the patrons who commissioned the projects,
to the architects who designed them,
to the artisans who brought them to life,
and finally to us,
who marvel at their legacy centuries later.
It's a chain of creativity and devotion that spans generations.
Speaker of legacy.
Yes.
Let's shift our focus back to the lion capital of Sarnath.
Okay, the lion capital. The one that's on the Indian flag.
That's got to be a story worth telling.
Absolutely. It's not just a beautiful sculpture.
It's a symbol laden with meaning.
Reflecting a pivotal moment in Indian history.
It was erected by Ashoka to commemorate the Buddha's first sermon after achieving enlightenment.
Wow, so it marks the beginning of the Buddha's teachings spreading out into the world.
No wonder it became such a powerful symbol.
And every element of the lion capital is carefully chosen to convey that message.
I can imagine.
Originally, it had 5 parts.
5 parts.
The shaft, the lotus bill base, a drum adorned with 4 animals, the 4 lions themselves, and a crowning Dharma chakra wheel.
So let's break it down.
Oh.
What can we learn from each element?
The 4 lions, seated back to back, symbolize the Buddha's teachings reaching all corners of the world.
Their lifelike details, the tension in their muscles, the sharp lines of their manes.
All showcase the sculptor's mastery over form and detail.
And that signature Mauryan polish. The source mentions how the line capital gleams even after centuries.
It's like they wanted to create something that would last forever.
That polish is a hallmark of Mauryan art.
It's not just about aesthetics.
I see.
It reflects the reverence with which these sculptures were created.
They were meant to be admired, to inspire awe and wonder.
Exactly.
Now, below the lions, there's that platform they're standing on.
The abacus.
Right, the abacus. And it's not just a plain slab of stone.
It's adorned with 4 chakras, each with 24 spokes representing the wheel of Dharma, the core of Buddhist teachings. And between each chakra, we see those 4 animals again. The bull, horse, elephant, and lion.
Hold on, we saw those animals on the Ashoka pillars, too.
You did.
What's the significance of this recurring motif?
It's not just a decorative element.
Okay.
It's a deliberate choice.
What does it represent?
Those animals represent the 4 cardinal directions.
The 4 cardinal directions.
Symbolizing the universal reach of the Buddha's message.
It's incredible how much thought went into every detail.
It's like a visual puzzle waiting to be deciphered.
Sadly, the crowning Dharma Chakra wheel is broken now and
But
displayed separately in the Sarnath Museum.
even without the wheel, the impact of the lion capital is undeniable.
It's a testament to the artistic skill and vision of the Mauryan era.
Absolutely. And its legacy continues to inspire.
Speaking of inspiring creations,
Yes.
let's turn our attention to another masterpiece of Mauryan sculpture,
Which one?
the Didarganj Yakshini.
Ah, yes. The Yakshini statue that's so lifelike, it's almost eerie.
What makes her so special?
The Didarganj Yakshini, housed in the Patna Museum, is a testament to the sculptor's mastery of form and detail.
Okay.
Carved from sandstone and polished to a sheen,
Yeah.
she stands tall and confident, holding a fly whisk in her right hand.
The source mentioned her incredible realism.
What makes her stand out? Well, the sculptor paid meticulous attention to her anatomy,
Her anatomy.
capturing the curves of her body and the delicate folds of her garments with astonishing realism.
It's incredible.
Her rounded cheeks, sharply defined features, and the subtle tension in her stance.
It's amazing.
It's all incredibly lifelike.
And the drapery, the way her clothing clings to her body, revealing the contours beneath.
It's as if she's about to step off the pedestal and walk right into the museum hall.
That's the magic of Mauryan sculpture.
The artists were masters at conveying a sense of movement and life, even in static forms.
They weren't just carving stone, they were breathing life into it.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder what it would have been like to see these sculptures in their original context.
Standing tall amidst the bustling cities and sacred spaces of the Mauryan Empire.
Imagine encountering the Didarganj Yakshini in her full glory.
It would have been an awe-inspiring sight.
Okay, so we've seen how the Mauryans excelled in creating grand pillars, lifelike sculptures, and symbolic stupas.
They were incredibly talented.
But their artistic ingenuity didn't stop there.
Oh, no.
They also took on the challenge of carving entire structures out of solid rock. Rock-cut architecture.
Exactly. Rock-cut architecture showcases a different kind of artistic skill and ambition.
Instead of building with bricks and mortar,
They carved directly into the living rock.
transforming caves and cliffs into incredible spaces for worship, meditation, and artistic expression.
Precisely.
I'm already picturing Indiana Jones exploring those caves.
Huh. But before we delve into that world of rock-cut wonders...
Okay, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
Sounds good.
The Mauryan period wasn't just about powerful emperors and vast empires.
It was a time of incredible artistic innovation.
Fueled by a vibrant mix of religious beliefs and cultural influences.
From towering pillars to lifelike sculptures and symbolic stupas,
Mauryan art reflects a unique blend of power, spirituality, and artistic mastery.
and those skills weren't limited to just one material or technique.
They mastered the art of working with stone, whether it was carving freestanding pillars, shaping delicate figures, or transforming caves into elaborate sanctuaries.
And that mastery is evident in every detail.
From the signature Mauryan polish, to the intricate narratives carved on stupas, to the lifelike realism of sculptures like the Didarganj Yakshini.
It's a legacy that continues to inspire and amaze us even after thousands of years.
Speaking of amazing feats of architecture,
Yes.
let's get back to those rock-cut caves.
All right, let's do it.
We're about to embark on a journey into the heart of the mountains, where the Mauryans carved out spaces that blend seamlessly with nature.
Creating a harmonious fusion of art and the natural world.
I can't wait.
Me neither.
Okay, we're back, and I'm ready to explore this rock-cut architecture.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what they were able to achieve.
I'm picturing, like, hidden caves and intricate carvings.
You're on the right track.
I mean, carving entire structures out of solid rock.
It was a unique challenge.
It must have been so difficult.
Instead of building with the bricks and mortar, they had to work with the existing landscape.
Carving directly into the living rock.
It took incredible precision and skill.
I can barely carve a pumpkin.
Right.
What kind of tools did they even use back then?
They used chisels, hammers, picks, all made from iron.
The source mentions one cave in particular.
The Lomas Rishi Cave near Gaya.
Yeah, that one.
It's a fantastic example of early rock-cut architecture in India.
What makes it so unique?
Its facade,
Okay.
which is dominated by a grand Chita arch.
Right, that horseshoe-shaped structure.
Which became like an architectural signature for Buddhist and Jain caves.
And what's really cool about the Lomas Rishi Cave is that intricate elephant frieze that adorns the arch.
That frieze is a masterpiece.
It is. It depicts a procession of elephants, each one carved in high relief,
creating a sense of movement and grandeur.
The detail is incredible.
You can almost feel the weight and power of these animals as they march across the archway.
And they achieved all of that by chiseling away at solid rock.
It's a testament to the skill and artistry of those craftsmen.
But beyond the artistic merit, that elephant frieze also serves a structural purpose.
Right. It helps to support the weight of the rock above,
preventing the structure from collapsing.
They were masters of combining aesthetics and functionality.
It seems like a pattern with Mauryan art and architecture.
You're right.
They didn't just create beautiful things. They wanted to create things that served a purpose.
Whether it was spreading a message, housing relics, or providing a space for spiritual practice.
Speaking of spiritual practice.
Yes.
The source mentions that Ashoka donated the Lomas Rishi cave to the Ajivika sect.
That's right.
What can you tell us about them?
The Ajivikas were a religious group that flourished in India around the same time as Buddhism and Jainism.
Okay.
They believed in a deterministic philosophy,
interesting,
emphasizing the role of fate in human life.
So even though Ashoka was a devout Buddhist, he still supported other religious groups.
And their artistic endeavors.
It highlights the inclusive nature of Mauryan patronage.
They weren't just focused on promoting one religion.
They encouraged artistic and architectural development across different faiths.
Exactly.
Pretty remarkable, considering this was over 2,000 years ago.
It speaks to a more tolerant and diverse society than we might imagine.
And that diversity is reflected in the variety of rock-cut structures created during the Mauryan period.
Some were designed for individual meditation,
while others were large enough to accommodate entire communities.
For religious gatherings.
These caves weren't just physical spaces. They were also centers of social and spiritual life.
Places where people came together to worship, to learn, and to connect with something larger than themselves.
I feel inspired to go on a cave exploring adventure.
Me too.
But before we wrap up, let's reflect on what we've learned.
From towering pillars to intricate cave carvings and the magnificent stupas,
we've journeyed through a period of incredible artistic innovation in India.
The Mauryan era wasn't just about powerful emperors and vast empires.
It was a time when art was used to spread messages, to inspire devotion, and to connect people with their spiritual beliefs.
And it wasn't just about grand imperial projects.
So we saw how collective patronage played a crucial role, with people from all levels of society contributing.
It was a true testament to the collective spirit and artistic vision of the Mauryan people.
So as we emerge from our deep dive into the art and architecture of the Mauryan period, I want to leave you with this thought. Look around you at the buildings, the monuments, the symbols that surround us today.
How do you think those ancient art forms, born from a period of great change and innovation, continue to shape our world and inspire us even now? It's a question worth pondering.
The echoes of the Mauryan era resonate through the centuries,
reminding us of the enduring power of art to shape our beliefs, our values, and our very understanding of the world.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that thirst for knowledge alive.